supporting Domofsky's. So I feel like I'm pretty up to date on a lot of the Packers stuff that's going on. The Badger camp just got started. They're 4 or 5 days in. I'm going to head over there today, even though they don't have practice because I feel a little nervy.
I bet.
But part of the trip was great. I just want to make sure I specify this. So we had a great time.
I sense a butt coming.
There's a big butt coming. We had jumping off of cliffs and swimming in the Adriatic, and it was just. I'm not a strong swimmer. I've learned. Also,
you jumped off a cliff?
I jumped off of a small opening. The kids jumped off cliffs. No, I haven't gotten down to, and I'll get to MoMA later. I haven't gotten to MoMA in a couple weeks. No cliff diving for old T.
Okay.
But there was one thing on the itinerary. Sarah does a great job. She plans this stuff out. She has everything dialed up, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She now knows, I think, what works, what doesn't, as our family dynamic. Well, about a month and a half ago, she's like, what do you think about kayaking? And I said, I think it's a bad idea. I don't think I should kayak. I've kayaked in the past. It's a small little kayak, okay? The kayaks are not built for bigger dudes. My hip tendons get tight, boats tip, et cetera, et cetera. So I didn't think it was a great idea.
Photographs?
There is, but they will not be shown yet. I'm debating if I'm going to put it out there because this is Eleanor and I are different sizes, I think is fair to put into perspective. I'm large. She is not. She is a great gymnast. I am not. So I tell Sarah, all right, here's the deal. I have this big book that I am reading about Watergate and about the 60s and 70s. I'm trying to learn history even more, get into great detail and understand it. I am fine reading my book while you guys go out kayak. Well, the kids wore me down. They're basically, Dad, we're crazy. Come on. I said, all right, if I can fit on the boat and feel comfortable, I'll go on this kayak. Okay, I'll jump on. We'll kayak.
Mm-hmm.
Book the kayak trip. It's one dude. It's the 4 of us. We go around these islands. It's a 5-mile kayak ride. Okay? So I say, all right, if I fit in the kayak and we get out there, we'll do it. So I go on. I'm sitting in the back. I'm in charge of the steering and all the deal. I get on there, and Eleanor is my partner for this kayak trip, okay? I fit in the kayak. I feel halfway decent. Okay, I've dropped a couple pounds. I'm feeling better. So I feel pretty good about it. We get out, and we start kayaking, and old boy brings another dude with him, thankfully. So there's now 2 kayak dudes along with the 4 of us.
There's one kayak?
They have solos. We're dueled. Sarah's with Max. I'm with Eleanor.
Okay.
And we're dueling. And we start going, and I'm paddling pretty good. We're rolling through. We're doing a pretty good job. Sarah's got a picture of the first round of it, and there's waves. The kayak is obviously going to be tipped up because I'm in the back and Eleanor is in the front. So there is a noticeable.
Titanic.
There's a good angle up. Eleanor at one point couldn't even really get the paddle in the Adriatic because this thing is tipped up. And it's just the reality of the situation we're in. But we're moving, we're going, and about halfway through, I'm looking like, where are we all going here? And the guy's like, we go around this island, we veer, we go to a beach, we get lunch, and we come back. All right. Well, the Adriatic is a busy sea. It is a busy sea. There's big boats, a lot of yachts in Croatia. And there's a channel you have to go through, and it gets wavy. And my biggest fear was that I'm going to fall off this kayak, and old T ain't getting his big blank back in this kayak, especially trying to balance it out in the middle of the Adriatic. We get tipped. Kayak flips. Water flashing. I am just lucky. I had a life jacket on. I am sitting there, and the dude, to his credit, is like, "Oh, we'll be fine. We'll get back in." I said, "No. I'm gonna swim. There's a beach about 200 yards over to the left." I said, "Why don't you all just keep going? I'm just gonna go sit over at this." He goes, "No. He's got an accent. I can't do it, so I'm just gonna let it go."
Of course.
So I jump my big blank back up. He somehow gets me back in this kayak. We got another 1.5 miles to get to the thing. at this point, I am mother blanking anything I can possibly think because it just is not. This was, I said to Eleanor, Sarah, and Max after we got to the stopping point, I've been retired 15-ish years. I would have rather have been at training camp in the old, not in today's country club atmosphere training camp. I'm talking 2-a-days. I would have rather been in a 2-a-day training camp than back in the middle of the edge because I was deathly afraid that we were going to flip this boat again. We end up, old boy has to bring out his tow rope. He's got a tow rope on the kayak. He straps it in because we can't move. There's waves. There is a decent current coming at us. We'd have been out there till midnight. Because Eleanor can barely get the paddle in because of the weight distribution, so she's not. I'm just sitting there because I got to lean back because my hips are tight and I don't fit in the dang thing very good. So I'm doing this. We ain't going anywhere. So old boy lugs in, and he's strong now. He is a strong rower. He gets up in front, and he is towing us. He gets us to the spot. I get off there, and I'm telling you, I was the happiest. I couldn't be happier that we got off at this. But now we still had 2.5 miles to get back.
Yeah.
To our starting spot. And a lot of thoughts went in my head. Can I swim there with a life jacket on? They're like, no, you won't. You ain't going to make it. Can I get a water taxi? I said, we're going to find a way to do it. So he doesn't, we start going back again. Eleanor and I start kind of crushing it. We're starting to kind of figure our thing. There's
got a rhythm
going.
Mm-hmm.
This blank, and we're probably a quarter of the way back to our starting point, which is right on the island that we're staying. And about a quarter of a mile in, all of a sudden we're rolling, and some blanking idiotic like banana boat dude with 5 or 6 people comes zipping by us. Big waves, flip over. I can't for certain say I started tearing up a little bit, but I was then trying to get back in that boat, in that kayak, in this little plastic kayak with 85-pound Eleanor and my big keister. I thought I blew my knee out again. I was on the horn with MoMA setting up my next appointment down to get my laser going. I find a way in. He ends up tow roping us back. At that point, I had just kind of said, I'm going to give as minimal effort as I can. So this guy is towing us back in. But by the end of it, I ended up towing in. And I have officially, when I docked, thank God, back at the kayak spot, I officially announced my kayaking retirement. I will never set foot in a kayak again after this trip to Croatia.
The number of questions I have.
I am open to answering as many questions as you have.
Okay, so we don't have like drone video footage.
Oh, no,
any,
Sarah,
is there...
you know my wife.
I do.
There's plenty of pictures. I'm not 100% sure if and when I want those released. But there's plenty of photos. There's plenty of videos. And by the way, was Sarah and Eleanor anywhere to come help? No, they're taking photos, figuring we'll figure it out. And me and old boy and Axel's sitting there saving our lives. And I give Axel credit. If I was Axel, I'd be pretty irritated with me. But in fairness, I said, do you think this is a good idea? And he's like, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think about halfway through, and he pulled out the tow rope. He's like, this wasn't going to be fine. All right.
Obviously, Eleanor is fine. What happens when you capsize, though? Like,
the boat tips over and you fall into the sea?
So you're not like seat belted in because you've got to be able to get out for safety purposes.
Thank God,
obviously.
no. We were seat belted in. I wouldn't be doing the show today.
You wouldn't be doing much of anything. So when you how do you get back into the
That's
you're telling
a really
me that Axel is helping you?
So Axel's obviously has his own kayak. Eleanor jumps up like it's a balance beam. She's like, oh yeah, let's go. She jumps right back in.
Sure.
I just kept thinking it's going to keep flipping because it's not easy to balance it when I'm just on the shore getting in this thing. Now I got to pull myself up, kick my big butt back into the thing without tipping it so that everybody flips back over.
Right.
Oh, it was a challenge. It was a challenge.
Okay.
And
Well, I
Axel, and I'm going to give Eleanor a ton of credit because she easily could have been very frustrated. She loves kayaking. So that's the hard part about this retirement. But I think everybody now understands this is what needs to happen. When Muhammad Ali got knocked out, or somebody, whenever they got knocked out late in their career, everybody's like, it's time for that person to retire. This was our family moment of it's time for you to retire from kayaking.
All right, a couple more quick questions. One, do they make 3-person kayaks so she will be able to continue her kayaking?
They're called a canoe, I think.
Okay.
No,
so
she can do her own kayak. She could do her own, and I think it'd be fine.
And then finally, could you describe Axel to us if I were a police sketch artist?
Certainly.
Because I'm trying to picture him.
Long, greasy hair, Philadelphia Phillies ball cap on.
In Croatia?
In Croatia, yeah. I didn't ask him if he was a Bryce Harper fan or whatnot. I think exactly what you'd think someone that had spent years and years on the Croatian beaches would look like.
Leathery?
Very leathery, yes. That's a good point, yeah.
Well, we are thrilled that you made it out alive first. Second, you're home safe and sound. I'm sure the Badgers will be happy to see you today as they get ready for their upcoming matchup here at Lambeau Field against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But do you have more stories from your trip? Or are you going to sprinkle them throughout the week?
Yeah, I just, because I thought as we were driving back last night, I was thinking, all right, this story I think is the one that kind of epitomized a big portion of our trip. There was other stuff that was like talking about the beauty and how great some of the stuff was. The fruit tastes better there. The fruit tastes a lot better. I don't know if it's just fresher, and it shouldn't be because I don't think they grow pineapples in Croatia.
They must have a Sendix location.
Plums. They got a lot of plums. A lot of plums. A lot of apples. A lot of plums and apples over there.
But do they have Pella windows and doors of Wisconsin?
They got some old doors now. They got some old doors. 500 AD is some of the stuff that is sitting over there in Croatia. They could use some new windows and doors, and shopping for new windows and doors, you don't need to haggle. You stick to straightforward pricing like Pella does. Honest conversations helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Not going to use high-pressure sales tactics when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The same team that manufactures your windows and doors. They also sell them, install them, and service them. Real pricing, premium quality, no game. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Do you tip your kayak guide?
Oh, this guy got tipped, yeah. This guy got tipped.
You tipped over, and you tipped him handsomely for getting you back in and tow roping you.
That's another thing about the European part of this. Like, they act like, because they charge you more for stuff, which is fine. But then they come and kind of bulldog you. Well, here's your tip. And we're like, well, no, you don't tip. I thought that was part of the deal. I don't fully understand. I think it's different in different parts of Europe. But they're a lot more bulldoggy with, I think, Americans than they are with normal European folks, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. All right, so Tausch is thankfully back. As much as we had great cousin subs, except for the days that Jesse was the...
Who was the best cousin sub?
Well, I would say Brian Bulaga, because as he followed you into the starting lineup, he's like a younger, different personality Tausch. So the changes are not all that significant.
How is that anything like? But that if you say somebody's got a whole different personality, you can't really say they're
played in the NFL for a decade plus, understands offensive line play, has been. So
are you a younger
camp.
Spoon?
I don't think I'm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay. I'm more of a younger Bud Lee. I like to think of myself as
Bob McGinn. More of a younger Bob McGinn.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm definitely not that. So he was great. Obviously, Gabe is a national radio host, so he's always great when he fills in. John Anderson. John Anderson is the most like you in terms of clock management.
Oh, okay.
So he's a little more challenging.
Was the clock managed a lot better when I was gone?
Depends on the co-host.
Okay. Okay.
Some days easier to rein in than others. Alex Strofe did a great job on his 2 days. I would say, and I think our friend Ashton Rotman understands this, I would say probably too many days of Jesse as a host with me. I feel like we need someone more prominent if you're not here.
Dang. It's a shot at you.
We need someone like a Bulaga.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll say this. I didn't have access to emails. I did get some text messages while I was over there. And Saturday night, there must have been some fun stuff at AmFam Field, and Old T was up on the Jumbotron again, up at AmFam Field. Yeah. Yeah, they did a lookalike contest because that was a majority of my texts were a lot of them involved that night. So we'll have to. I'm sure Owen will be able to pull that up and throw that up.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
All right. We
what
do
the hell
want
are you talking about?
Exactly. We do want to get you caught up on what you may have missed now that you've caught us up on what we missed on your vacation. We'll talk about some of those things next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Summer's biggest tradition is back. The Wisconsin State Fair returns August 6th through the 16th with 11 days of family fun. Enjoy legendary cream puffs, can't miss fair foods, live music, thrilling rides in Spin City, amazing animal exhibits, shopping, and entertainment around every corner. Whether you're craving a classic corn dog or this year's newest food creations, there's something for everyone. Get your tickets today and start planning your visit at wistatefair.com. We'll see you at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Snap-on IndyCar weekend at the Milwaukee Mile isn't just another race. It's twice the action. 2 races, 1 legendary track. Bring the crew, bring the family, or just bring your need for speed. Because this isn't just racing, it's a full-throttle summer event. This is the Milwaukee Mile doing what it does best. Snap-on IndyCar weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Grab your tickets now and hold on tight.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of tranquility at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Every tailgate has one. One person who brings the grill, one person with the long games, one who's convinced this is the year. But everyone's favorite, the one who shows up with the carbless. Handcrafted premium cocktails with bold flavors, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess. Just crack one open and enjoy. This football season, make Carbless the MVP of your cooler. Find your bliss at drinkcarbless.com.
You know, I mean, your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways. Mm-hmm. Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
For all skilled sheet metal workers in Racine and Kenosha, your future is calling. If you're looking for incredible pay, added job security, and unbeatable benefits, take a look at Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers. In this area, the total wage package for experienced journeymen is starting at $87 an hour. So make a smart move and transform your future today. Go to smart18.work to find out more.
Heartburn. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing is worse than heartburn after a long day. When you're finally off the clock, dinner's done, feet kicked up, kids asleep, and boom, heartburn tries to steal the moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. The effervescent tablets start neutralizing acid in seconds, so you can sit back, relax, and unwind from your day. Next time heartburn hits,
quick, Alka-Seltzer.
Use as directed.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit. Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Accounts subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on with the big fella back from the former Yugoslavia.
Six countries out of one.
So then, what happened with
and I'll say this, I don't know all of that, but what I will say is people are very hesitant to get into their feelings because I was generally curious. You know, we had a couple of different tour guides, and I was curious, like, their points of view on how things had went. And it seems as if there's a lot of hard feelings. Obviously, there's going to be hard feelings between Serbians and Croatians. That's what I learned.
Okay, good to know. Are there any hard feelings for you about not getting Tarik Skubal?
No, I didn't think that was going to be something that the Brewers.
Sounds like it was closer than any of us ever actually imagined when it started being talked about.
Yeah, they went and they tried, and they weren't going to give up certain players. In Detroit, I think wisely was trying to get those players, and I think with the Dodgers, they just don't. It doesn't matter and bother them because they know they can go. It's like, the NFL's different, but you can't. When you're a small market team in baseball, you can't make mistakes. You can't lose out on your big prospects. There's going to be moments that you have to make a big move, and I'm sure the reaction. I know they ended up making some picks and some moves. Obviously, the pitching staff got bolstered, but we all wanted the big CC Sabathia type move, and it just didn't work itself out. Now, I don't think that's going to change anything, but I can understand why Brewers fans are looking at it and saying we should have went big because there's going to probably be a big chunk of next season not being played with the labor disputes that are happening. Go for it. And that's always been, it doesn't matter if it's the Packers, the Brewers, the Bucks, however you might look at it. Fans want to see organizations go for it. Make the big, sexy move. And sometimes the best moves you make are the ones you don't make. And we'll see if that's how this plays out.
I thought it was fascinating how they talked about this, that the effort was made. And it reminded me, and we spent some time on this while you were gone, of the whole Goody, I want to be in on every conversation. Yeah. And people say, well, I don't care if you're in on the conversation. I personally would. And then occasionally, like with the Micah Parsons trade, it actually happens. It didn't happen. And, getting the feedback from people who know a lot more about the Brewers than I do, sounds like they legit tried, which is a different approach than some other instances might have been for a player of that caliber.
No, you don't get what you don't ask for in life, typically. And if you don't at least get in the conversation and ask and start feeling out what's happening, you're never going to get any of these big time players. So you should always have some knowledge of what's going on, and then it just comes down to how much are you willing to give up. And in this case, you're gonna have to give up a lot of prospects that there's just certain guys that were not going to be a part of it. And I think Detroit wisely was like, well, we need to get a pitcher that's going to be under our control for a while if we're going to make this move. They didn't. they didn't feel that way, and so the Dodgers ended up. I don't know what the equivalency would be because I'm trying to figure out what their prospects are versus ours. That's not where I'm going to live. But obviously, Detroit's analysis of it is that this was better. It wasn't like they were doing something to spite the Brewers. They were going to do what was best for them, and it turns out that that was not bringing Skubal to Milwaukee.
Well, we'll get you caught up on a few of the other things you missed. Matt LaFleur will be at the podium in about 16 minutes. We'll see what he has to say, but after, I won't catch Tausch up on the next topic until I've told you about Potawatomi Casino Hotel. And unlike Tausch, you don't have to jump on a plane or into a kayak to feel like you've escaped. Your next getaway is waiting for you in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options. Dream Dance Steakhouse, The Marketplace, Rock and Brews, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, and of course the Cream City Coffee Company as well. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. That's Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More with Tausch, who is back from his trip and back on Wilde and Tausch. So stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
When your team needs custom gear, don't wing it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and More is your local partner for high-quality apparel with hands-on design help and services that actually feel, well, helpful. For your business, teams, or events, Big Frog makes it easy. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon today.
Join Milwaukee's business community for an evening that makes a lasting difference. La Causa invites you to the 2026 Guarding Dreams Gala on Thursday, September 17th at the Pfister Hotel. Together, we'll celebrate the power of community while supporting La Causa's Crisis Nursery and Respite Center, providing a safe place for children and stability for families during times of crisis. Whether you attend, become a sponsor, donate an auction item, or simply lend your support, you'll help strengthen our community. Learn more at lacausa.org/gala.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Ben Bruston. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you in Greenfield and Mequon. You'll start with a medical evaluation, reviewing your history, any imaging, and actual source of your pain. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. QC Kinetics, call 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling, trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champaign of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champaign of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues with Tausch back. Jesse scheduled to
So,
join us
Jason,
tomorrow.
quick question, because like I said, Packers camp has been going about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Biggest storyline for you from the 2 weeks is?
Yeah, I don't think you can avoid the Trey Smack watch.
Sounds like a little bit of inconsistency is what I know. He had a nice family night. He missed one kick on family night.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, and I saw your commentary on this, and I've said this the whole time when they decided to get rid of McManus, is you're putting a lot of added pressure on a young man. Like, that's just how this is going to go. And now, hey, welcome to the big leagues. Like, this is going to be a part of it. So I don't mind all of that, but then let's not act as if scrutiny on that position isn't going to be there. Like, it is important. Games are won and lost by made kicks. Like, ask the Buffalo Bills. They got a whole different scenario going if Scott Norwood makes a 47-yard kick. Like, that's the reality of championship football. And when you have it, you don't blink and you just go about your business. When you don't, you worry about it. And Goody, for as much as I think Goody has done a lot of really good things, he has not handled the kicking scenario very well. Like, it's been a mess. Whether it's drafting Anders or McManus just didn't perform well in the postseason. I don't mind moving on from McManus. I don't think that's a bad, especially you're going to be paying him top dollar or at least high-end kicking money. But when you have a team that you think is championship ready, you have to have a kicker that's ready for moments. And maybe Trey Smack will be. And I know there's a lot of talk. The family night scrimmage was great because they did it a little differently. They had him out there, and he made some kicks. Confidence is everything in sports. You gain it by having success and trusting your work and that you've put in the time, and then it becomes second nature. That's what we're all hoping for from Trey. But these moments are going to come. You can have all these, and trust me. While we don't think it's a big deal as fans, from a player standpoint, every time you get out there, you're building your resume and you're building your confidence bank. And until your bank account is full and you feel really good about it, you're always going to be a little bit. He was, I bet, as nervous as he's ever been out there on Friday night it was. I bet that's as nervous as he's been, even probably more so than he's kicking against Tennessee down in the swamp. That's the reality, and that is going to be a storyline until you feel like it's not, because you're not talking about it.
And look, I think the other thing that was problematic about this, and remember, to Tausch's point, we had Ryan Longwell on a couple weeks ago. His rookie, he was a great kicker for a rookie. He also missed a chip shot field goal that would have won a game in Philly. And when he missed it, that was the difference between the defending Super Bowl champs playing the NFC title game at home and playing it in San Francisco. They won the game in San Francisco anyway, so it didn't matter. And they went back to another Super Bowl, which they ended up losing. But it didn't end up costing them dearly. But it could have, right? Because you lose on the road and you're thinking, God, we should have played this game at home. So that's the margin for error that even one game that you lose because you chose this kicker can cause.
And you could look back at that NFC divisional game against San Fran. I don't even know who they would have played in the NFC Championship game. They had the San Francisco 49ers beat. Mm-hmm. If Anders and again, it's easy for all of us to say this. That was a case where I don't blame Goody as much because nobody thought that the Packers would be in that spot in Jordan's first year. I don't blame him. But now everybody thinks that they should be. And you're still going young. You have a lot of belief in this young man, and hopefully it's going to be warranted.
And the fact that that Matt LaFleur had the officials stop signaling whether the ball went through the uprights
that was
or not
a joke.
practice.
I wasn't there, but that seems like that was a joke.
It wasn't a joke. They still don't do it.
Why?
I mean, luckily the one that he missed yesterday inside the Hudson Center hit off the upright. But again, we just move and stand in a different spot so we can see if it goes through the upright. So I don't know, but it's not a joke, Tausch. Like
I thought it was like a ha-ha deal.
No,
the
officials at practice do not signal whether the ball went through the uprights or not.
That's embarrassing.
They don't do it.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I know you're reporting it. I'll take it for what it's worth. I'm assuming he's joking, because you can't be that. That's like 1984.
Then why are
stuff.
They still aren't doing it?
No, that's crazy.
They're still not.
That's insane. So if somebody drops a touchdown, you're going to say it's a touchdown?
Yeah, you're just not going to signal. I guess you're not going to say incomplete. You're not going to say touchdown. I'm going to get to Matt LaFleur. I will probably. It's a true story.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that can't. I understand that it's true, but that can't. Well, I'll get to my takeaways. I think you got to go. If that is indeed the case, I don't understand why every practice that's out there isn't open to the public. It's still like. Also, have we gotten any answers on why that is, or is that just nobody will bring that question up?
Nope. Because one was supposed to be a walkthrough, and then they practiced anyway. And again, there are. And by the way, I think there's only 13 total, and I think we're done with it with half of them. Today will be, I think, the 9th or 10th practice that's open to fans, so we don't have a whole lot left, including family night. All right, I'm going to get to Matt LaFleur. I'm going to leave Tausch and Owen to get a little "Did you hear this?" going. But before that, I want to remind you again, the official bank of the Packers is Associated Bank, and they also have Brewers checking if you're a Brewers fan, and things are going great with them, and things will be great for you as well if you join Associated Bank. Not only do you get great customer service, but you save 20% off the Brewers team store. You can save up to 50% on certain game tickets at AmFam Field. You've got use of the American Family Fields Associated Bank gate, which allows you to get in faster, and you get discounts on the Brewers Baseball Academy and the Racing Sausages 5K and 10K. So go to associatedbank.com/Brewers to find
So, Jason,
out
you
more.
head down to Matt LaFleur. There is a little interesting breaking news about someone breaking something in their hand in the NFC North that I think is a big story, much like a retirement was a big story last year of a team that I think has a chance to win the division and keep the Packers another year without winning the North, even though I saw that's one of the big things up at win the North. We'll get to that along with some Could You Hear This as Jason heads down to cover Matt LaFleur's press conference. We'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is setting the stage to rock your socks off. This August, jam out with real rock off. You could win raging prizes to the tune of $300,000. Get in on the jam session by playing with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries. Thursday nights will be a game show battleground for your share of cash and reward play. Real rock off. It's gonna be epic. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, Milwaukee, we make it easy.
If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you know where to go. It's Ewald Automotive Group's 2026 model year closeout. To make room for the 2027s, all remaining 2026 models are priced to sell. Shop over 1,500 vehicles with financing as low as 0%. Ewald's 2026 model year closeout. Going on now at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Select models with approved credit for a limited term. See dealer for details.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
With summer winding down and everyone getting back into a routine, maybe it's time to put yourself back at the top of your priority list. I'm Josh DiMaggio, and I can honestly say I've never felt better since starting my journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Right now, new patients can save $200 on the complete Milwaukee Weight Loss program when they enroll by August 31st. Don't keep telling yourself you'll start after football season or wait until January. Start today. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com and schedule your free consultation.
Results may vary.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Well, I just saw some interesting breaking news that came across our desk. It's Wilde and Tausch. Jason is down at Matt LaFleur's press conference. I'm sure. I still can't believe the not calling field goals good or bad. Like, what are we doing? Orange sliceification of America, man. I can't. I don't like that one bit. I hope that's a joke and not true. We'll find out more. But what is true is Ian Rappaport. I've said this pretty much all offseason. the Lions' schedule's soft. They're playing a fourth-place schedule. They had a lot of injuries. I would be shocked if they don't bounce back this year. I think they're built the right way. They have the team, I think, that's there. They need to stay healthy up front. They lost, obviously, their left tackle. They moved Penny Sewell to left tackle. Their center retired last year, and I thought that story got underplayed last offseason, whenever it happened during training camp, whenever that call. Well, they went and got a new center, Cade Mays, and Ian Rappaport reports fractured a small bone in his wrist, which I'm guessing is the scaphoid. I broke my scaphoid way back in the day playing high school basketball. And you're out 8 to 10 weeks, which is about the timeline I had. Coach Dan Campbell called the injury significant, but Mays should be back for some point in the season. Don't know when the Packers play the Lions. I want to say it's a little bit later in the year. But that team is built up front, and all good teams are. The reason Detroit turned things around under Dan Campbell isn't because of Jared Goff all of a sudden just became this great player. The reason the Lions were good is because they were more physical than everybody. They were good up front. They had Kevin Zeitler, and I know there's a lot of reporting going on that Kevin Zeitler is going to play and whether the Packers will bring him in. Sounds like Jacob Monk has elevated his game. That's what I want to talk to Jason about. He's been up there. He's getting a lot of work. He's probably going to be the starter. Belton, moving him around. O-line, there's a lot of questions. We talk a lot of O-line on this show for good reason. Obviously, with myself and with Balaga joining us, it's because that's what wins. You're not good up front, you ain't going to win. Packers have not been good enough up front the last couple of years. That's why they keep tinkering and trying to figure it out. They need to be better. And this injury to Mays, I don't know who else they have. They're scrambling to try to figure it out. They're going to have a new right tackle in Detroit. It opens things up, I guess, would be the best way for me to put it. And I think, Detroit and Green Bay, in my eyes, were the two teams that I think are going to win the division. I think the Bears are going to regress. I know Ben Johnson, he's heard all the pundits say that the Bears are going to regress. He's using it. Good. Yeah, it's part of the deal. I think with their playing a first-place schedule and the Lions playing a fourth-place schedule, that's a big difference. That is a big difference, having to go play the Arizona Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I'd rather play the Arizona Cardinals. Just me. Owen, I missed some stuff while I was gone. You curated, and as a good producer would do, you've curated some things in a little segment we call What I Miss.
Consider it the radio version of a conversation at the water cooler. It's time for Did You Hear This on Wilde and Tausch.
Did you hear this? What'd I miss? It's all kind of in the same vein, if you will.
Yeah, essentially. All right, number one for the first clip today of Did You Hear This?
I think that the Brewers, it is going to be a dogfight with the Cubs to win the division.
I was going to say the Cubs.
I think
will
it is going to be
overtake the Brewers.
razors thin by August 9th.
So I should preface that these three clips are the bold predictions that you guys had before you took
this is a bold-a-thon.
Sort of. Kind of just revisiting your guys' takes. This was your take saying that the Brewers and the Cubs are going to be in a dogfight. So far, when you took your time off, the Brewers were up 5 games, and now they're up 5.5.
Do you still feel like this thing's over?
No.
I don't either. The Brewers have played pretty good ball since they've been gone. They've played good ball. They just finished a homestand, 5-2? They got a big West Coast swing to finish up there. This is their big last long trip. Cubs are playing good baseball. Those two have separated. And there's nobody else really in the picture now to win the division. I still think that this thing, as Natalia Imbruglia said, I still think there's there's some unwritten business that needs to handle. I think there's still 7 games left between the Brewers and Cubs. Brewers are heavy favorites to do it, but I still think bring your own bewaredness when it comes to winning the division. Make sure that gets done.
Yeah, this will go to the end of September, and the Cubs made some big moves at the trade deadline. Their newest pitcher, Kevin Gausman, went 7 innings on his first start, too. So moving on to clip number 2, where you guys made a contract prediction.
Oh, okay.
Do we all agree Tucker Kraft's got a fat new deal with the highest paid tight end in the league by Aug 9? I will be shocked if I come back
I'll be shocked actually if before Jason comes back, that Tucker
27th.
You think they have it done by the
No,
training camp?
I disagree with Tausch.
Of
I do
August.
believe before Tausch is back, he will have a deal. I think it'll happen that first week of camp, maybe bleeding into the first few days of August.
Yeah, there has not been news, right? Tucker Kraft did not sign a big fat new extension. I didn't see a wall-to-wall coverage of it, so I imagine it has not happened. But kind of similar vein of what I just said about the Cubs Brewers. Anybody think that he's going to be playing any ball without a new contract? He's not going to play any preseason football. He's not going to play against Minnesota Vikings without a new deal. The new deal is going to happen. Like, I would bet that it's on like the 5-yard line. They probably got some things. That is one of those we've seen the Packers be proactive. They've signed up Devontae Wyatt, signed up Jaden Reed, signed up Christian Watson. Tucker Kraft is going to have a new fat deal. He will be the highest paid without probably the most guarantees. The guaranteed part of it, the Packers figure that out. But Tucker Kraft will have a big fat new deal before they head up to Minnesota September 10th or whatever day that is.
Do you think that's what's holding this contract back right now is the guaranteed part of the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would bet that the Packers have no problem saying we're going to pay him, I don't know, whatever George Kittle is, $20 million.
19.1,
We'll give you $20 million a year. But the Packers, as they do, unless they have to, the Packers will structure it the way that fits them best, which is what they should be doing. I'm sure Tucker and his team are fighting to get the best for them. But let's not kid ourselves. Tucker's back practicing. He's doing some things. I don't know how much. I don't think he's done a ton of team stuff, if any. But he's back out there. He's got pads on, which is actually more than I thought. But he ain't going to be doing anything until that deal gets done.
Nope. All right, and moving on to our final clip. A surprise edition predicted by Jesse before training camp started.
I kind of want to predict that the Packers will have a surprise edition by family night. Someone that they bring into camp that we do not have on our radar.
Someone
at
pregnant?
this juncture
Okay.
in the newspaper.
Someone get
Is
pregnant?
that a bold
Yeah.
prediction? You didn't even say who it is.
That's not a bold prediction. He's just saying, like, oh, the stork dropped off a youngster. He's shell-shocked because on our 10-year anniversary, he gets killed for his horrible Pat Murphy take. He knows that, so he's a little shell-shocked. Is there a possibility for the Packers going to make a, I think before camp started, Jadeveon Clowney. Well, the Texans brought him back in. Now, is Kevin Zeitler going to be considered that? I'll be shocked if if he still wants to play, which it sounds like he does, somebody's going to grab him because he's a solid, salty old vet. He's going to play good football for you if he can stay healthy. Where would that position be for the Green Bay Packers? Where would the spot be if you need to bring in the surprise guest or whatever he ends up saying, whatever Jesse was saying? I think the answer would be kicker if that was where you look. If you don't feel, I don't think that's going to happen because I think they are, just like I was in the Adriatic, you got to find a way to keep getting back up on that kayak. You can't just sit out there and float aimlessly. They're going to give Trey Smack opportunity after opportunity until they realize it's either going to be great, he's going to be awesome, or we need to do something different. That ain't going to happen in training camp, so I don't think it's going to be kicker. Tight end is the one spot. Tucker Kraft's going to be your every down, every guy. Musgrave's out. They got rid of Lachey. That is a spot that if someone would say, I see Ertz is available, I don't necessarily know if that's the road you want to go down. I think if you're going to bring somebody in, they better be able to block, and they better, you want to have somebody that can come in and be that second, fit the role of a number 2 tight end. Going to do all the dirty work and let Tucker Kraft do everything else. And I don't know if that would be sexy enough to be considered something that Jesse would think made sense.
Does the veteran aspect of Zach Ertz intrigue you at all?
No. Tucker Kraft's a leader. If you think that Ertz can, still spread the seam and put pressure on opposing defenses, because Zach Ertz had a nice career. I don't know if he's going to be somebody that you want cutting off backsides and being a point of attack blocking. I don't know. I don't. If I want to go down the route of an athletic tight end and somebody, I want to get Luke Musgrave back and give him another opportunity to showcase that he can do some of the things that will put a lot of pressure on a defense. Other than that, I don't necessarily. Maybe running back. Is there a running back out there that you're thinking you got to go get? I don't know who that would be. So I don't know if Jesse's proclamation is going to come through. It looks like we're going to go for 3 on our bold predictions from 2 weeks ago.
I was just going to ask you, what's your overall review of the 3
Pretty
predictions?
poor, but I think in the grand scheme of things, the reason you do these things is you try to anticipate what is going to happen. I think that the Cubs and Brewers are going to be in a dogfight. I think the Brewers are going to win it. I do think Tucker Kraft gets a fat new deal. Is it going to be August 15th or August 10th? Well, we're on August 10th. Would I be shocked if at any point today they announced that he's got a fat new deal? I wouldn't be. And that's why I made that prediction. Is that all we got, O-Dog?
That's all for today.
All right, so we are going to be somewhat on the clock. I'm not sure what time Jason will be back. I want to get into the offensive line part of what we've seen throughout training camp so far. Can't wait to hear Jason's kind of give me a little bit of an on-the-ground what has been said and what has been done, because that is going to be, for all of us that want to see the Green Bay Packers win a world championship this season, if that group isn't markedly better than what it was, we're going to be sitting here having the same conversations again. Hopefully not that we lost to the Bears, but that we lost to somebody because we couldn't hold up and we couldn't run the football effectively when we needed to. And that seems to be another big storyline about the shuffling of the offensive line, who played where, what they're going to do with Belton, the rising star that Monk is. All of that is going to come up. But I'm going to tell you about Jones Dairy Farm. We're going to be headed down there Wednesday for our annual day down at Jones Dairy, down in Fort Atkinson. And that family-owned farm operated for 7 generations down there since 1889. And I missed it. I mean, there's sausages and there's meats over in Germany and Croatia. Not like Jones Dairy. Sausage is made with fresh meat only, no fillers, nitrates, MSG, or gluten. Naturally made. All before it was all hip and cool to do it. Jones Dairy has used their original family recipe. It's available in pork, chicken, and in turkey. Find Jones products in grocery stores all across Wisconsin. Check out the website's product finder at jonesdairyfarm.com. The 10 o'clock hour will start in 2 minutes here on Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
One great day of golf can change lives. Join us Monday, August 31st for the Salvation Army Milwaukee County's Swing for the Kettle Golf Invitational at Oakwood Park Golf Course in Franklin.
Your participation directly supports food, shelter, and life-changing programs for children and families throughout our community.
We'll be broadcasting live from the course, but the day is really about you, getting golfers and sponsors together to make a difference.
Foursomes, individual golfers, and sponsors are all welcome. Reserve your spot today at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
If you're a golfer, a hunter, or someone who has a lot of gear, you know how quickly a garage can run out of space. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe & Chewy, and I'm here to tell you that Closets by Design creates custom garage solutions designed around your lifestyle. From cabinets and storage systems to garage flooring, they create a place for everything. I love what they did with my closet, and now I understand why so many homeowners trust them with their garages too. Right now, you can get 40% off and ask about their special financing options. Schedule your free in-home design consultation today at closetsbydesign.com and tell them Jen sent you.
The wait is over. Women's college volleyball is back, and it all begins at Fiserv Forum this year with the AVCA First Serve event. Be there August 21st through the 24th for 4 days of can't-miss doubleheaders, featuring Wisconsin and Marquette, plus defending national champion Texas A&M, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Texas, and more powerhouse programs. Dig into 4 days of elite matchups and get your tickets before it's too late at FiservForum.com. Watch the nation's best teams serve up the start of a new season. Grab your seats today at FiservForum.com.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say Kissing Cousins, Pack Bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And will end this crazy game in a tie. Oh, my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wilde and Tausch continues.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. With Tausch back in the saddle again. Matt LaFleur just finished speaking with us at the podium. And Tausch, I have been wrong before.
He was joking about the field goals.
No,
Oh,
he
that
definitely
was
wasn't.
serious.
I don't know if they're kicking today, but I can guarantee you that if they
Has
are.
there ever been anything more orange sliceified? Sliceified. That is the sliceification. That's so ridiculous.
Look, I as you well know, there are folks that think he's soft and they make fun of his eyebrows and all the other stuff. I think Matt LaFleur is a better coach and deserves more respect than he gets from a portion of the fan base. That is my standard position with him.
Okay.
That said, this is hard to defend.
No, you can't
And I
defend
said
it.
it
If
at
you
the
defend this, like that's I still until I actually see it live, I just don't believe it. That's crazy.
They did it for family night.
They put their
because
arms
there's an
up,
NFL
committed to it.
crew.
Oh, he couldn't talk Hockley's kid into saying no. Don't say if it's good or not.
But yeah, so I'm telling you, at practice yesterday, we're inside the Hudson Center. He makes his first two. He misses the third one, clanking it off the upright. At no point did the officials signal, even on the two that were good, that they went through. And in fact, the first one, it looked like one of the officials looked at the other one and almost reminded him, "Hey, don't signal, remember." So that's how we're doing things here. I don't personally agree with it, but that's how we're doing things. Now, speaking of things that I don't agree with, and Matt LaFleur made a pretty convincing case, discussed some of the numbers that he has gotten from the league on it, that there is data that shows...
Playing 25 games is super healthy for everybody.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Came right from Netflix.com.
That if you play your guys a certain number of snaps in preseason combined with the number of snaps they get in a joint practice setting, there is a less likelihood of them being injured. Now, of course, they're also put at risk for those snaps where they could get injured in something that does not count. And I'm sure you were discussing the Lions center who broke his wrist today in practice. I'm not saying this for certain, but judging from the fact that they're changing things up on the offensive line, that right now it looks like Jacob Monk is their choice at right guard with a lot of football left to be played, with the fact that Aaron Banks still has not taken a team snap in practice so far this summer. Sounds to me like he's going to play his offensive line, at least for a little while in Pittsburgh. But it may be more than that. And, you obviously played in a different era. Even Blue, who retired far after you did, also played in a different era. This era has been it's the juice ain't worth the squeeze. But Matt LaFleur, because what I asked him was, because he said yesterday, if you're healthy, you better be ready to play. But I asked him today, and I'll get it for Owen here in the next commercial break, but what I asked him today was, do you have a position philosophically one way or the other? Like, I know what you said, but like, do you lean toward playing guys, lean against? And that, I thought his answer was really pretty telling. And I go into this expecting them to play some guys in the preseason this year. And it also factors in, Tausch, I would have loved if they would have had a joint practice, even though I've been going back and forth on whether I may or may not talk to the quarterback this week. I know he's doing a Zoom with all of us, but my hope is I'll get a little extra time with him since I put that request in early. And Bert Lawton, their PR director, is a phenomenal guy, and I appreciate him helping me. If they had done a joint practice, I would have gone regardless of whether Rodgers was going to stand me up or not. It feels like a missed opportunity to not have a joint practice, especially after the good things Matt LaFleur said about Mike McCarthy moments ago. They're not doing a joint practice in Denver, which they did do a couple of years ago when they played in the preseason in Denver. So they've only got one joint practice. And Matt LaFleur's point was that there is the number of joint practices and preseason work. So if you only have one joint practice, that I'm following the breadcrumbs. I think he's going to play some pro or con.
So I think there's a value to play. And I understand I think Jordy Nelson injury changed the Packers organizational attitude on all of this, even though, Goody wasn't in charge. He was obviously one of the big lieutenants with Ted. You have to play. Now, you could sit out and not do it, and I know Jordan got hurt when he hurt his thumb last year around this time, and everybody was freaking out. He came back. The only way to get better at football is by playing. Now, you can do these joint practices, and you can be more controlled, and I don't want my quarterback getting hurt, but especially on the lines of scrimmage, you got to play. It can't be, hitting bags and all that other stuff. You do all that stuff, get your footwork and all that, but you got to be able to feel when somebody's trying to bury you and how setting your anchor and moving your feet and moving people on the line of scrimmage and getting the running game and seeing the fits, getting the running backs to actually have to see and go and it not be just tap off, or you have to be able to it's real easy when nobody's going to blow you up. Somebody's going to come and hit you. You run differently. There's just a lot to it. And I think especially with the way that this Packers offensive line has been shuffled and been critiqued and has not been good enough the last couple seasons, I would think that you want that group. You got a left tackle out there. You don't know what you got yet. You have a center that I think, I saw the quotes from Matt LaFleur. Sean Ryan's kind of having a camp that you want as a veteran lineman. You don't hear a lot about him. He's just doing his job. That's what you're looking for. You don't even know Aaron Banks, you said, hadn't taken a snap in team yet?
0.
That's amazing. Not in a good way. There's a lot that needs to get worked out there. I don't want Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love playing a ton of preseason snaps. I want them to do a ton of work in practice and in joint practices, yes, where you can control things, because at some point you got to go out and do it. But I do think that obviously you always are weighing that at the end of seasons and obviously in the beginning of how much do you want to push that injury risk compared to getting sharp and being a good football team. And I think for this group, especially up front, I don't think you could sit here and say, well, let's just keep these guys healthy. Yeah, you want to keep them healthy, but you got to get them to work. You got to see what's working. How are they handling double team or the combo blocks and passing off stunts and all the things? In order to be a good O-line, you got to get reps. Don't matter what work you're doing. Radio, post office, football. The only way you get any better at any of this stuff is by repping it. And if you don't rep it live, you're not going to end up getting any better. And in a business that's all about growth, I would be surprised if you don't see the O-line doing a bunch. I don't think you put Christian Watson Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. I just don't think that is necessary because of the value of where they're at.
I want to play a couple of clips, hopefully, for you during the course of the show from LaFleur. I want to talk a little bit more about the offensive line, and I also want to talk about corner because there's some interesting developments there, and I asked Matt LaFleur about that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stick around and leave for practice a little bit later. We're going to get into those things, then we'll play trivia, not this next segment, but the segment afterward while I walk down. Before I can do any of that, I'm going to tell you about Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. I tell you all the time. I hope you never make the call. I hope you never, ever, 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 ever have to call David and Steven and the great team at Gruber Law Offices, because that means you haven't been injured in an accident. But unfortunately, it happens to everybody, or at least many people. And if that's the case for you, you need to have the best team on your team, and that is Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. More Wilde and Tausch with Tausch back in the saddle again, and not in a kayak. Stick around.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for MoMA. Battling a sore knee, a shoulder, elbow, hand, neck, back, or foot pain? MoMA can get you back in the game. MoMA is the new Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance, connecting trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, with expert care and innovative treatments provided in their offices. The Surgery Center, Ortho Laser, Smart Scan, or MOSH. With the best orthopedic care and recovery, MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Call or walk in today. Visit MoMaMKE.com. That's MoMAMKE.com.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
Snap-on IndyCar weekend at the Milwaukee Mile. 2 races, 1 iconic track, twice the action. August 28th through the 30th. This is summer's fastest ticket, so get yours now and hold on tight.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Milwaukee Weight Loss says back to school means back to you. Schedule now and enroll by August 31st to save $200 on the complete weight loss program. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today to schedule your free consultation. Hurry. Offer ends August 31st. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on. I'll head down to practice shortly. A couple things I wanted to get to, though, with you before we're down and the pads are cracking.
What did you make of the big
news
news with the center for the Lions breaking his wrist? That's you remember last year, and I don't remember when their center retired. Ragnow, who was a really good center for them.
Yep.
I said that's going to be a big deal. And Detroit built their team under Dan Campbell, their winning teams that won the division and had chances to go to Super Bowls by being physical, dragging people out to lakes and seas and not getting them back up in kayaks and whatnot. That's how they built their teams. And they lost guys. They lost their left tackle, and now their center is out. I think it's a big story. I think it is a big,
it's a huge story.
In the NFC North, that is a monster deacquisition loss, if you will, of where they're going to be now they're going to be scrambling. And when you start scrambling, you start moving people. Most of the time that doesn't work out well, which is what Green Bay is doing, is moving a lot of guys.
Yeah, so they've had a number of issues already in camp, right? Like they've dealt with multiple injuries, but this one, to your point, is, they got this guy to replace Frank Ragnow because their level of play last year at center wasn't good enough.
Nope.
Like this is a significant loss, and
by the way,
not
didn't
only
the Bears
that, but
center retire too. Their guard, one of their
did
interior
during
guys
the
left
offseason.
too.
Yes, no, his center. Yep,
That's
the
what I
center.
thought.
They went out. And on top of that, if you and look, this is part of the luck versus bad luck of the NFL, right? The Packers certainly had more than their fair share of injuries last year, which impacted their ability to succeed late in the season. That all said, like, this is also part of the bubble wrap Ted Thompson debate versus you got to build the calluses of doing stuff in preseason. This is obviously an injury that occurs in practice while you are in the trenches, right?
Calcification.
I'm not sure how avoidable it is, right? But like this is the cost of doing business, and now it's going to impact your team early in the year in a pretty negative way. So, and Dan Campbell likes, toughness, and all those things are part of his formula. But if you kind of look at the way his training camp is going, this is not the first meaningful injury his team has already suffered.
Oh, and by the way, their backup quarterback retired, so they don't have a backup.
Correct. So they've dealt with their share. Nevertheless, Matt LaFleur wants to move forward, it sure sounds like, with at least playing his defensive and offensive linemen, maybe not his skill position players, to Tausch's point. on Thursday night in Pittsburgh. Now, I would ask you this, Tausch, because we kind of went into the off season and into the start of training camp thinking their 5 is basically set, right? Whether or not you feel confident in it was another question. But Morgan, Aaron Banks, Sean Ryan, Anthony Belton, Zach Bacco Biwele.
Yeah, I heard they changed
which
his
I
name.
know you'll be adjusting to that upon your return.
I'm going to probably just go Zach Bacco. I don't think I'm going to get the whole way through.
Bulaga went with Zebak.
I like
and
Zebak. Yeah,
which
I'll
I
go
thought
with
was,
Zebak.
that
That's
works.
better. Okay.
Yeah. So now though, it looks like Jacob Monk, who basically spent 2 years barely playing, is in position to be the right guard. It appears that they are not only unhappy with Belton and his inconsistency, but also that they would like him to maybe be their swing tackle potentially, because that's not something I had asked Steno earlier in camp.
I don't sense them playing him at left tackle under any circumstance, though. Belton seems like a right side guy.
I wouldn't think so either. Steno also admitted that they don't have any idea who their backup left tackle is.
Good. It's good to hear.
He flat out admitted it.
Yeah.
So they've got that going for them, which is nice. But what is, you obviously did this as a rookie, and it was great to see Earl while you were gone as well. That was fun. Gave you a shout out when we talked to him before his induction. He obviously thinks very highly of you. But like, what does Jacob Monk have to do now that he's been put in the position to potentially be the guy? Like, now you've gone from fighting to get reps with the ones to now being with the ones. Is there a transition there for him?
Well, there's going to be more expected, and you have to just be consistent. And I think the thing with Monk is they have kind of, I thought, almost pigeonholed him as a center. And then the opportunities would come, and he didn't. They never put him in. They didn't put him out at center. Oh, let's move Elton Jenkins. Let's do this. Oh, Sean Ryan. And so now, again, not every player is ready to play as a rookie. Not every player is ready to play after their second year. At some point, you have to be out there and play. Monk's at that point. This is a blank or get off the blank type of deal. And now he's got this opportunity, and he's in a position to grab a spot and run with it. So for him and his professional development, this is his shot. If he doesn't take it here, he is going to be a journeyman bouncing around. He has an opportunity to come in, play really good at right guard, and earn a nice fat contract and be the guy for the next 5 years. That's the opportunity ahead of him. Now, is he going to be able to be consistent enough to do that? I don't know. That's what the Packers are going to try to find out. Because what this tells me is, they liked Anthony Belton's size, his physicality, not his consistency. That's why he's been bounced around. And now it looks as if he's probably not going to be. And, all of the Hansel and Greteling that we did with our boy Burton, Jagger, that was done for a reason, because they like him and they think he's got a really good shot at being one of the starters. And with Aaron Banks not being able to practice or not, there's only so many times you can say veteran rest day. Like, at some point, you got to go play. Like, you can't, he's not. Yeah. He's coming back. I know he's been head injury stuff. He's got to get out there. I've said all offseason, he needs to be the guy leading this group. He's getting paid bonko dollars. He's got to be good. And he's got to be out there. Mm-hmm. And when you have that uncertainty there, if you are really intrigued to have a battle at right guard, I want to have Burton and Monk battling at right guard. You're kind of doing a little bit of a disservice because you can't. Banks isn't out there. So now Monk wisely saying, I'll just grab this dang thing. I'll take it. And if you're Burton, you're looking at like, well, yeah, you're getting me reps at left guard, and yes, you got to be able to be, switching around and everything else. But I'm hoping one of the things the Packers are learning, and just listening to Goody and LaFleur talk about maybe not helping Jordan Morgan's development, I don't want that to be the case again. Like, if you really want one of these two to play right guard, they should be battling at right guard. But when you have a guy that can't practice or is not able to do it consistently enough, you got to put 5 your best out there so that you can go and execute as an offense. Who knows how it's all going to shake itself out, but it seems to me that Belton's going to be a tackle moving forward. That right guard spot's going to come down to the young rookie and to Monk. And judging by what everybody is saying and how it's looking, Monk is in the lead, but that's without any games played. Both of those guys, I would assume, are going to get a lot of work and get evaluated on that work.
Well, and earlier in camp, it was Monk that was at the left guard spot while Aaron Banks wasn't doing team. And then they were working Jagger Burton in at right guard and moving Belton out to tackle so he could get some reps. But now that has flipped, and I think they probably like the fact that, they saw what they saw from Monk at left guard while he was filling in for Aaron Banks, and they said, we need to play him. We think so now they moved him to right guard, and now I'm sure he'll be with the ones when we get out there in a few minutes. And, I guess my only other question about this is, if you're Anthony Belton, right? I mean, this is a big boy league, as Ted Thompson taught us. But what are we going to find out about him and how he handles this? Because getting demoted is never fun. And that's clearly what has happened to him right now.
Well, my guess would be that he prefers playing tackle. And while he's frustrated, I'm sure that he's not going to be starting. That is a scenario where I think you learn about your mentality. You're going to play. Mm-hmm. He's going to end up being, if nothing else, he could be a big boy tight end that's going to come in and get some snaps. But we all know how this league goes. Guys are going to get hurt, and guys are going to miss time, and guys need to be able to step up. Belton needs to look at this as a case of, I'm going to continue to get ready. If I'm a player, I want to play. But what I really want to do is I want to get a spot, and I want to lock it down. And then I want to work and get better and better, because for as much as you could say, well, you got to be flexible. You got to be, if you're the 6th offensive lineman, yeah, you do. I don't know anybody that's playing college football or high school football that says, what my dream is? To be the 6th lineman on the Packers. I can't wait to be the swing guard. I can't wait to be the swing tackle. You do that because you have to, because you want to work and you want to earn a contract. Nobody is dreaming. First off, nobody's dreaming about being an O-lineman when they're young. That happens when you get big, and you can say, now all of a sudden the money, everything is, hey. But I don't know anybody. I go over to Badgers practice today, and I'm fairly certain there'll be some guys that would love to be the swing tackle for the Green Bay Packers, but that would be a short stop on a journey that they want to end up earning a spot, because the way you get better and better at something is you rep it. I don't know why. Today's show is Rep City, USA. Get reps.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get better and better, and then you can perform, and then your confidence is higher. Rep, rep, rep. And it's much better if, Anthony Belton's going to be a right tackle. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to get work. And I'm also going to have to be left tackle, but I think right tackle is always his spot, and that just makes me wonder, as this thing goes, you don't know who your backup left tackle is. I would bet that if something happened to Jordan Morgan, it'll be Zach Tom gets thrown over to left tackle. If that's really where they're at, that would make sense. Mm-hmm. And then you move 2 guys, and you're that's going down a road that I hope this Packers front line doesn't have to go down.
We'll hear from Matt LaFleur. I also want to talk a little bit about Brandon Cisse after I get down to practice. But we're going to play trivia next as I make my way down there.
If you're talking right now, who is starting? We go up to Minnesota September, whatever. What day is the game? I want to make sure I'm accurate. What day is the
13th?
September
Sunday,
13th.
September 13th.
They load up on the plane September 12th. Who are their starting 5 offensive linemen right now?
So I will answer that because I know you love it when I don't answer questions.
You can tease it. You had a long walk.
Well, no, because I do have a long walk. The question that I have is, what exactly is going on with Aaron Banks, and how long are we thinking that because he claimed in the offseason to be healthy, and now if he's just doing individual drills all the time, how ready is he going to be for week 1 against, by the way, a group that is pretty daunting with that defensive coordinator, Brian Flores.
What
and all
has
the things
been
that
the
he throws
official
at you.
report? Has it been veteran off days, or has it been he's not healthy enough to play?
No, knee. He's got a knee. So he's able to. They're limiting his reps. They're treating him basically like they're treating Tucker Kraft, like they were treating Devontae Wyatt and Zach Bako-Biwele, as they treated Javon Hargrave yesterday.
Is Zebak taking team reps?
For the first time in camp, he did it yesterday.
That was the first team 11-on-11 that he's done.
Correct. So now he's done it more recently.
Yeah, I think the concerns from a fan standpoint on this O-line being a lot better. You just went through 2 weeks of camp and you had your starting high paid left guard and right tackle not do any team reps until yesterday. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct.
That ain't good.
Yes.
That ain't good.
We will get to more.
Hey, Jordan
after,
Morgan. Hey, how's passing off stunts with Aaron Banks? Oh, I don't know. I haven't been able to do it. Well, how are your run fits with Aaron Banks? I don't know. We haven't done any reps yet. And then you expect to go dominate up in Minnesota? Like that's not viable. It's not good.
It is definitely not good, and that is the reality where they're at. They are also banged up at a couple of other positions. They just added another wide receiver for numbers. Matthew Golden will not practice today because of a toe injury he suffered apparently on family night. Jaden Reed will not practice today because of an ankle injury he apparently suffered on family night, even though he said he was just having cramping. So those guys will not practice today. Savion Williams had a very good day yesterday, so there's good news for him that he's getting extra work. But they're down there. They're down a little bit at corner. They're down at tight end. And as we've just spent some time discussing, they have their offensive line issues as well. All right, Tausch and Owen are going to play trivia. Normally, it would be the sports weekend recap. Instead, it is the sports last 3.5 weeks cap.
I almost brought up breaking down Yugoslavia. Was what I thought about doing, but I didn't.
Caller 18, because according to Jesse, it's been 18 shows, kind of like Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, and Christian Watson all playing together, which they had 0 snaps last season together. It's kind of the way our show has been. Caller 18 for trivia presented by Cousin Subs, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 18 plays trivia after Tausch tells us about MoMA, where he's going to be headed very soon.
I need to get back down there. I'm telling you, I had a tough end of last year. Wasn't getting around. I went down. We had a great meeting, partnered up with MoMA, the Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance. Bring together trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, Innovative Pain, making it easy to find the right specialist and the right treatment for you. I think we all just want things. Let's get a plan and let's go out and execute the plan. Whether it's football, whether it's medical, whatever it is, that's what they do. And, man, I'll tell you what, the surgery center, Smart Scan, Mosh, all kind of separate off. You can go get your stuff. And for me, Ortho Laser helped get my knee. I was able to hike and move around Croatia on these cliffs pretty well. Couldn't kayak. That's not MoMA's fault. That's old T's fault. But MoMA will get you back to doing what you love. Go ahead, see their team as I have. Head on in, call or walk in, or learn more at MoMAMKE.com. That's MoMAMKE.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com. That's talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
I don't know how many quarterbacks you can use Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the former general manager, as the scapegoat for. J.J. McCarthy didn't work out. It's clear and obvious. Justin Jefferson isn't happy, which is a key in all of this. They fired the general manager, brought in somebody else. The head coach went out and got Kyler Murray to be a part of this quarterback competition. This has to work in Minnesota, and I don't know that the organization is going to continue to gamble away seasons on the promise that once upon a time was J.J. McCarthy. I think this is Kyler's show. If J.J. McCarthy somehow, some way ends up starting games, it would be because he blew everybody away in his training camp in preseason, or it would be because of an injury to Kyler. And I think those are both long shots as we sit here today.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
One great day of golf can change lives. Join us Monday, August 31st for the Salvation Army Milwaukee County's Swing for the Kettle Golf Invitational at Oakwood Park Golf Course in Franklin.
Your participation directly supports food, shelter, and life-changing programs for children and families throughout our community.
We'll be broadcasting live from the course, but the day is really about you, getting golfers and sponsors together to make a difference.
Foursomes, individual golfers, and sponsors are all welcome. Reserve your spot today at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
How much time have you spent searching your garage for a tool or a piece of equipment that you know is in there somewhere? Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe & Chewy. Closets by Design helps homeowners transform cluttered garages with custom cabinets, wall storage systems, and flooring solutions built around the way you live. I love what they did with my closet, and now I understand why so many homeowners trust them with their garages too. Right now, you can get 40% off and ask them about special financing options. Schedule your free in-home design consultation today at closetsbydesign.com and tell them Jen sent you.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Welcome back in to Wilde and Tausch. We have our trivia contestant, Zach in Menominee Falls, on hold. We have Jason Wilde down walking to practice, where, as he just said, Matthew Golden not practicing today. Jaden Reed not practicing today. Aaron Banks still not practicing today. I'm concerned. I think O-line-wise, I'm very concerned. And I'm hoping that we'll see some things in the next couple of preseason games so that we feel a little bit better heading into that opener against the Minnesota Vikings. But we'll worry about that later because we do have trivia. Zach in Menominee Falls. What's up? Oh, we got to play the music. There we go.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. National Sandwich Month is here. Cousins Club members earn exclusive rewards throughout August. Join now by downloading the Cousin Subs app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
There we go. Zach, you're lucky I'm not writing the trivia today because the first question would have been, what is the capital of Croatia? Zach, do we know that?
We do not. The European studies were not very well in high school.
You did? Mine either. I would have said Split or Dubrovnik, or two of the spots we hit. It's like a Z name, Zdansk. Zendaya. I don't know what it was, but it begins with a Z. It's in the center part of the country. I didn't know. I also didn't know that Yugoslavia had 6, but luckily for you, you don't need to know that because that is not part of trivia. What is the category today? 3.5 weeks? What is it?
Yeah, the last 3.5 weeks sports recap. Usually it's over the weekend, but since it's been a while since
been a minute.
We've all been together.
All right, Zach. So here we go. Which player was both acquired by the Brewers in a trade and designated for assignment by the Brewers since the Wilde and Tausch crew was last all on the show together? Is it Lance McCullers Jr., Dustin May, or Mike Trout?
Lance McCullers.
Boy, that happened quick. Remember we were here, I think Jesse or Jason was off, and we got that trade happen, and this could be something. Get him in the lab. Get him in the lab. And that didn't last too long. So, well done. 1 of 1.
Question number 2. Which country won the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which had not even seen its semifinal matches played since the last time Wilde and Tausch both hosted the show together? Is it Argentina, France, or Spain?
Soccer is not my specialty.
I'm with you.
That is the one sport never did. So, flip of the coin. Well, I know that both of them were in there. It was Spain and Argentina. I do remember that. I just don't remember which one. Let's go Spain.
España.
Wow.
That's good deductive reasoning there. That's how
Very
you do
good.
Those old Dactronic tests where you'd kind of say, all right, I know it's not A and C, and B and D, you kind of just guess. You guessed it, Zach, and you got it right, and you can start the week off perfect if you get question 3 correct, which is this. Which of these things actually happened in the 2026 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, which occurred the night of July 14th, which is the last time Jason and I hosted the show together? Is it the National League won? There was only one extra base hit in the whole game, or Jacob Mizorowski pitched a perfect 1-2-3 inning?
B.
That is correct. That is well done. Well done, Zach. Starting the week off perfect, just like we knew you would. Those are pretty easy questions. Although question 1 I thought was probably the hardest. And you nailed that too. So Zach, 3 of 3, 4 entries in the Wilde and Tausch trivia for this week. Appreciate you playing. Thanks for your support. Good luck. Have a great rest of your week.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Be good. Love you.
You got it. Zach, Menominee Falls. I don't know if any of those questions, what was the most intriguing, the Brewers trade deadline and what they were able to do. How was not here. How was that received by most of our fans and of Brewers fans?
I think people were disappointed that the Brewers couldn't go after Skubal. Felt like maybe this was the year they go for the big fish on the market. A lot of uproar that he went to the Dodgers instead, I would say.
So disappointment that the Brewers, because we didn't get the big fish, we ended up getting some smaller, trout, if you will, not Mike Trout, but just we didn't get the big swinger, and that's the disappointment. And is it people don't feel like the Brewers pushed all their chips in? Fair?
At first, yes, but there have been reports that the Brewers did offer 3 top 100 prospects. So there is question about whether whose offer was better, the Dodgers or the Brewers.
Well, a good homestand finished up. The Brewers are heading out west for a little roadie, up 5.5 games, which is about where they were when we left, when all of us kind of took our breaks. We'll see how August and September go, but I think Brewers fans should be excited. And Brew Crew, your dream game day starts at the parking lot patio, located outside American Family Field, next to the third base gate entrance parking lot patio. is your go-to pregame hangout. Play yard games, grab free giveaways, free fun, open to fans of all ages. Stop by before your next Brewers home game. Parking Lot Patio is presented by American Family Insurance. Jason is down at training camp again. Guys missing from family night. Guys are missing practice, but getting ready to get their first preseason tilt with a couple of old buddies in Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy out in Pittsburgh. That is Thursday night. Today is Monday, so this will probably be the last day of work before they head out. We'll be curious what Jason is seeing and hearing and feeling down at Packers practice. We'll get to that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
All hail King Von.
And watching it at the wall. Goodbye. Off the batter's side.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
Mark Tauscher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Your premier Michigan golf getaway includes rounds at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Book Monday through Wednesday for best availability. Savor elevated dining and unwind at the full-service Drift Spa between rounds. Grab quick bites in the expanded Sage Run Clubhouse or refresh overlooking the 9th and 18th at Sweetgrass. It's all part of an unforgettable golf experience at Island Resort and Casino. Plan your getaway at islandresortgolf.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you know where to go. It's Ewald Automotive Group's 2026 model year closeout. To make room for the 2027s, all remaining 2026 models are priced to sell. Shop over 1,500 vehicles with financing as low as 0%. Ewald's 2026 model year closeout. Going on now at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Select models with approved credit for a limited term. See dealer for details.
There's lots to see and do at the Dodge County Fair. Fun for me and you. There's good times in the air.
Corn dogs, demo derbies, rock and roll, funnel cakes, wild rides, and roaring tractors.
It's all happening at the Dodge County Fair, August 19th through the 23rd. Get ready for 5 epic days of food, fun, competition, live music, grandstand action, and family entertainment.
Purchase tickets in advance to save money and make entry into the fair faster. Season tickets are just $35 and can be purchased at most Dodge County banks, Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Juneau, Leroy Meats, and the Market in Beaver Dam. Or just $38 at DodgeCountyFairgrounds.com.
Don't miss a minute of the Dodge County Fair, August 19th through the 23rd.
So come on, everyone, to the Dodge County Fair.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Packers practice at Ray Nitschke Field under cloudy skies. Tucker Kraft continuing to get individual drill work. They are in pads today, Tausch. So one of the few padded practices in camp as compared to your day out here. Josh Jacobs continuing to work on the side. He had a groin injury late last week. Tausch, speaking of Josh Jacobs, as far as we know, and I have checked in with the Brown County District Attorney's Office multiple times, we have no new news on his situation.
How do you do that? Is there somebody you have a contact there? You just call and text, or how does that work?
You email them and say, "Is there any update on this case?" And
they
then
say,
they
"Sir,
say,
this is a Wendy's."
Why
are you saying this?
This is Would you like a double stack?
I'll get your usual 50 nugs. Is that what you want? Yeah, throw that in there. But what are you hearing about Jacobs?
And it is an ongoing investigation. But again, when I talk to lawyer friends of mine or police officer friends of mine, they find it to be unusual. And I just don't know if you go through this period of time getting him ready for the season without having any real clear idea. I would assume that from a off the record talking to people involved, that the Packers get some sort of more information than they're going to give some reporter who's emailing in about it, right? Wouldn't you think?
You would think, yeah.
So he is not practicing, but he has been here from day one at camp, and I don't get the sense that anyone associated with this team is fretting about what his availability might be for the September 13th opener against the Minnesota Vikings up in the Twin Cities.
How has he looked so far?
He looks great.
He
looks like he's in great shape. He has, he hasn't had a ton of padded practices because they haven't had a ton total, and he's missed a couple now. But he's, for a guy that I think people are thinking too much, in my opinion, about how last season went and forgetting. I mean, first of all, he still had 13 rushing touchdowns last year. Like, you went inside the 5-yard line, he was scoring. And then secondly, I think people are forgetting he was extremely productive. The question that I want to ask him has nothing to do with his case. It's going back to when Joe Thomas was up here delivering his Hall of Fame beef, and he kind of let the cat out of the bag of suggesting that they're going to do more outside zone. And the idea of doing what he was most comfortable with, taking him out of that comfort zone. I understand why he's not available, Tausch, because as long as this is going on, they don't want him talking.
Yeah, and
I
he
get
won't
it.
answer. I mean, he could easily say, "I'm not going to answer anything," but you guys will keep asking.
Well, and I wouldn't. Like, if he said, "Look, that my lawyer has told me that until this is resolved, I shouldn't say anything, and that's the policy I'm going to follow," and then he talked football,
I
I'd be
heard pleading the
thrilled.
fifth is something a lot of people have been doing over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Indeed, including Aaron Rodgers.
I actually think there's some, like, from now on, why are you not telling refs to, I'm going to plead the fifth on that? That might be something.
You think it might catch on? But if we could talk football with him, I would jump at that opportunity because I am curious.
Well, have you noticed? Are they doing more outside zone? Are they doing more under center? Are they doing more even with Josh Jacobs not being out there? Or is it kind of, have you noticed anything different about the run game in you've been up at practice?
I'll be honest, when I am at field level, as opposed to up in the press box. Look, you know ball. You played it your entire life.
Yeah.
I've never pretended that I know ball anything close to as well as you do. I can tell an outside zone play from the press box, from the eye in the sky where I sit, right? I can see that as it develops. It's harder for me on ground level on the sideline. So I've seen them run it. I can't tell you percentage-wise. And for me, that's one of my shortcomings.
So you're not even going to tell me if it's more than last year?
I don't think it's. If it is more, it's not significantly more, because I've certainly seen plenty of double team blocks too, right? So obviously the movement that they get one way or the other is a little bit noticeable. But again, from the field level, I am not. My acumen is not high enough to be able to tell.
Fair enough.
Percentage-wise.
Fair enough. I appreciate your honesty.
No, that's what we're here for. But I would say this: I want to talk to him about it, because if that is part, because when I asked Matt LaFleur if that was part of this year one approach that he talked about with the offense, A, I think that's really smart, and B, the fact that he didn't answer it and said, I'm not going to give you our whole playbook, Jason. I don't want your whole playbook. I just want to know if you're getting back to basics with the outside zone scheme. And he was unwilling to divulge that, which to me tells me that that's kind of what they're thinking. We will get further into what's going on at practice. We will also hear from Matt LaFleur about his philosophy in terms of playing guys in the preseason, and what he said about Mike McCarthy and what he said about Brandon Cisse. That's all still ahead during the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, with Tausch back in the saddle again. That starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Milwaukee Weight Loss says back to school means back to you. Schedule now and enroll by August the 31st to save $200 on the complete weight loss program. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today to schedule your free consultation. Hurry! Offer ends August 31st. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde and Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
and celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with what we were talking about earlier about whether or not players will play in the preseason. And Tausch, I want you to hear exactly what Matt LaFleur said, and you follow your Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs and tell me what you think he's saying with this philosophical explanation for what he's thinking heading into the preseason opener against Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy and the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday. Here's Matt LaFleur.
You said yesterday that anybody who's healthy better be ready to play. Do you go back and forth on whether you want to play guys in preseason or not, or do you have kind of a belief one way or the other?
I think a lot of it's feel of where your team's at, and I think just my experiences here and is that when we've played in the preseason, we've been better earlier in the season. And you can't, I mean, you open up with a division opponent on the road, that's a tough task in itself. So I think, we've got to keep that in mind. And plus, there's a lot of data out there that will tell you that if your guys get X amount of snaps in the preseason, I think it's like over 3 times less likely that they get injured in the regular season.
Feel any less uncomfortable than when you are putting them out there?
I mean, yeah, anytime. It's just football there's a lot of unknowns, and you just sometimes you gotta push the envelope.
Tausch, translate that for me.
Yeah, they're
playing, aren't they?
Yeah, I think, and again, I don't know about like Jordan, and there's going to be more from the guys up front because I think there's more questions need to be answered before they figure out how they want to approach the 5 that they're going to put out. But also, that as it's always been, I can remember as long as we can look back on if you start the season sluggishly, and what was the one game I think Jacksonville and New Orleans or wherever it was, where it ended up being like just an absolute thumping, and you kind of were looking like, how does that happen? And that probably got into Matt LaFleur's head as far as like, I don't want that again. We need to at least, we got to look at our plan. And the fact that it is a divisional game, it's a road game, it's important to get your season started. I think you have a little more urgency. And we've heard that around Wisconsin's camp too, that the intensity is a little bit more. You can say all the right things, but when you have to play Notre Dame and not Eastern Michigan, the intensity on the players and the coaches and everybody involved, it's just going to be more. It's just the reality of life. And the Packers are looking at playing a divisional game in Minnesota. That's going to have more. You're going to need to be sharper earlier because now with 17 games and how the season, you understand that it's a journey, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, but you better not start off super slow at the blocks either because then it's really tough to catch up. I don't care if you're running a 400, an 800, a 5-mile kayak. So all of those things can be in play, but it sounds as if Matt LaFleur, what I caught from his earlier comments and then some of the things he said today about if you're healthy, be ready. I've always thought it's never a good idea to come and tell a bunch of veterans, hey, you're not playing next week.
Right.
Because the practice, the intensity isn't where it needs to be. So when that happens, I think it's much smarter for Matt LaFleur to keep that little edge with his players for the week of practice. Leading into a preseason game, you don't want throwaway days when you're only doing 13 padded practices.
Right. So if you were to guess, offensive line, defensive line, where else would you be willing to play guys that need the work? You want Edger and Cooper out there? Like, how do you decide? It's kind of like I always joke about that game up with the Klinkster up in Winnipeg. 33 guys are inactive because there's holes in the field from the goalposts for the CFL team, but the rest of you guys, we're fine with you playing.
Yeah, not
right?
ideal. Definitely not where you want. You don't want to be on that list of there's landmines out in the field. You guys can't play, but you guys, good luck. Have fun with how that's going to play. That is when LaFleur's talking about having a feel. You know your guys. You know the guys that are going to be your guys. They're going to be starting. You know that their style of play and how they go about their business, fine. Units have to, and that's where the O-line, D-line, if you're just a pass rush guy or you want the communication, you want the how the huddle, there's a lot of things that mechanically you want your guys to feel good about, and because you get to a regular season game, everything ratchets up. You want to have guys that have been in there that understand it. That's why they do mock games and mock halftimes so that guys can have that feel. So if you're healthy and you're not Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, I guess you could put Christian Watson, that kid, Tucker Kraft, I want you out there. I want you to at least get some work, even if it's minimal, just to get all of the mechanics and everything down. And it doesn't mean I want you playing in all 3 preseason games, but I definitely want you getting some work, especially on those days or those games that you don't have that joint practice.
We'll get into that first preseason game. It'll be against Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers and company, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see how much Aaron Rodgers plays. I certainly don't anticipate that, but there were some rumblings in Latrobe that he may actually see a little bit of action. I don't know if
what a missed opportunity for the NFL to not put this game in Green Bay. Let Rodgers
just
come
flip
for
it.
one last bike ride. For in a preseason where they're already showing disinterest. They used to taunt the players. The league did, in saying they could fine you for looks of disinterest. Like disinterest in the preseason. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a great example of just there should have been a way. And I know the NBA, everybody was getting after LeBron about not making a decision because they wanted to get the schedule out. The preseason scheduling, you should have done this anyways. If you had any inkling that Rodgers was coming back to Pittsburgh, the moment Mike McCarthy got hired by Pittsburgh and there was a chance that Aaron Rodgers can be the quarterback, think about how this week would be covered. And this week with instead of it being about COVID vaccines and all of the other stuff that's been in the news, this week could have been a really fun week. And let Rodgers had his last moment in Green Bay. It would have been really awesome. And they knew it was at least a good chance of this happening. Big misstep by the NFL office. And I don't say that a lot because especially when it comes to making money, and the Packers would have been all over this. Yes. I think they would have had a joint practice. It would have been great. Mike could have stayed at the house. You could have went and had a Starbucks with him up in a big walk in the morning. It would have been fantastic, but this was a missed opportunity by the NFL.
It's also a missed opportunity if you're thinking about redoing your backyard if you don't call Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Indeed, Sarah and I, we are redoing some stuff in our backyard, and we have partnered up with Aaron and Eric Brown, brothers and owners of Outdoor Living Unlimited. They're the right guys to help us get our project done. We share the same hardworking values. Love the fact Outdoor Living Unlimited is family-owned and locally operated. Their showroom, it is a must-see, where I think we're finally going to get started in the next week on our big project. Go head on down to their showroom. Take a look. It will give you all kinds of great ideas, sometimes too many great ideas. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, or more, Outdoor Living Unlimited, it's the spot to go. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space. Check them out, OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Or Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Women's college volleyball is back at Fiserv Forum, and ESPN Milwaukee is sending you there. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for your chance to win 2 tickets to attend the AVCA First Serve, August 21st through the 24th. Watch Wisconsin Marquette, defending national champion Texas A&M, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Texas, and other powerhouse programs battle it out to open the season. It's 4 days of elite volleyball, electric matchups, and unforgettable action. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this week for your chance to win tickets. AVCA First Serve at Fiserv Forum. Win tickets here.
Feeding the kids shouldn't turn into a negotiation. That's why Cousin Subs reimagined the kids' meal. Kids get to choose a kid's sub, mac and cheese, or chicken tenders, plus a side, a drink, and dessert. Everything they want, nothing you have to overthink. And while they're covered, so are you, with fresh-made favorites you'll actually want and feel good about. More choices, more smiles. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Brian Butch here. From high school All-American to Division I to the pros, I've spent a lifetime putting in the work. Right now, score one of the best deals of summer with the Iron Jock Basics Bundle. Get a premium t-shirt, a pair of performance boxers, and crew socks, all for just $57.50. Iron Jock gear is built for comfort with moisture-wicking fabric, 4-way stretch, and silver ion technology that helps you fight odor-causing bacteria. It's everyday performance at an unbeatable price. Don't wait. Head to ironjock.com and grab your basic bundle today.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
It's Kyle Walsh from ESPN Wisconsin, and my wife and I trusted Paul's Jewelers with our wedding bands because they specialize in creating jewelry for life's biggest moments, and they made the entire process easy from start to finish. Now, there's another reason to stop in. The 7 C's Cafe is the perfect blend of the 4 C's of diamonds and Paul's 3 C's of coffee, chocolate, and cookies. Grab a handcrafted mocha made with locally sourced Wisconsin ingredients while you browse the showroom or swing by the 7 C's coffee trailer right outside. Visit Paul's Jewelers in West Dallas and create your masterpiece.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga. Every morning, I talk about traffic backups and slowdowns around Milwaukee. At Sewer Ninjas, they help homeowners avoid a different kind of backup, a sewer backup. Sewer Ninjas is a Wisconsin family-owned company specializing in sewer camera inspections, drain cleaning, and trenchless repairs that can often be completed without tearing up your yard. Their goal is simple: find problems early and help homeowners avoid costly surprises. Learn more at sewerninjas.com. That's sewerninjas.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855-PELLA-WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on. Packers going through some special teams work now. Tausch,
Heard
we
that
talked
special
about
teams coach getting after everybody. Showing you guys how to hold the
cleats. Yeah, and he wears cleats.
He wears cleats.
He does.
He must have a healthy back. Nobody with a bad back ever wears cleats.
He said he got whacked by Matthew Slater when he was in New England, and ever since then, he has changed his approach. So
I'll tell you what, everybody else I know, if you're golfing or playing baseball, you get done playing, you want to get them cleats off as quick as you can. I know for me, football, anytime I get those 7 studs off my feet, I was happier than a clam.
Those 7 studs, man, they were trouble. Missed opportunity, as we were discussing, of having these. I don't understand why the game is in Pittsburgh, I guess it's a Rubik's Cube of scheduling, but the preseason schedule is
so
obviously,
easy.
this
So
one
easy.
seems like, I mean, you do have another compelling home game in the preseason, if that's possible to have a compelling preseason game, with Matt LaFleur's brother Mike coming to town. And the Packers have 9 regular season home games, so I get it. But I asked Matt LaFleur about facing Mike McCarthy, and I thought his answer was really, really, really good. Here's Matt LaFleur talking about Mike McCarthy.
It's kind of crazy that you're be coaching against the guy that used to have the job here. Do you have a relationship with him? Do you see each other at NFL?
Yeah, certainly at the owners' meetings, you know, and I've gotten to know him a little bit just when he came back here, you know, a few times. And I'll say this, I've got so much respect for him. First of all, how he's always treated me. And secondly, just by what he's accomplished here. And it's pretty cool that when he got the Pittsburgh job, I'm like, Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, that's pretty special. So Mike's a guy that I've got a ton of respect for.
That is quite the triple play of coaching opportunities, obviously. I do think it's interesting, Tausch, that however he feels about Mark Murphy, and I have a pretty good idea how he feels about Mark Murphy, that he was a resource for the Packers when they were considering whether to trade for Micah Parsons. Like, he talked to Goody at length about it. And I just think when you think about Mike McCarthy, that shouldn't surprise you. But yet there are so few coaches.
It's like anything. A lot of people would say. But Jason, we all know this. Mike McCarthy is just a really good human being. Like, he's a good football coach. I think, you know, he unfortunately gets stereotyped because he's a little heavier set. But Mike McCarthy's just a good dude. We see that with how he approaches his life. So, I mean, I'm not shocked by anything Matt LaFleur said there. I think, you know, his track record and what his resume, the teams that have hired him and brought him in now, it's as good as there's going to be from you're getting hired by different places. He has a knack and has done a really good job of developing and getting quarterbacks to play at a really high level. And I think it's kind of a nice little full circle for him and Aaron to finish Aaron's career off in Pittsburgh. And it's just a darn shame that him and Mike couldn't ride a tandem bike down Dream Drive, headed to practice in a joint practice situation tomorrow, or I guess tomorrow would be the day that they do it.
Yep.
It's just a totally missed opportunity. And I don't know, would they have went, I guess a tandem, would there be a basket on it? Would they have, I don't know all about that, but that would have been a fun, memorable photo that would have never happened. But it's a shame that the NFL screwed this up.
Well, I am next to the fleet of AmFam Dream Drive bikes.
Yep.
And they all have a bike and then like a sidecar attached.
Yep.
So theoretically,
those two would have fought who would have been in the side. It would have been Rodgers driving, and they would have tried to jam Mike in
just like the offense
sidecars. Yeah, audible this. Yeah, who knows? But I feel like the NFL missed an opportunity here.
I would tend to agree. All right, I want to get to one other thing before we get to Wowen, and that would be, speaking of opportunity, what Brandon Cisse has done. If you remember, well, you wouldn't remember because you weren't here, but maybe you read about it while you were milling about Croatia. The first day of practice, no Keyshawn Nixon. Now, he claims, and who am I to question the veracity of an injury? He claims that he woke up that morning with tightness in his hamstring, and the Packers told him to go get it scanned. The scan clearly didn't show any sort of issue because the next day he was practicing. Bo Melton with a phenomenal leaping catch on a throw into double coverage from Jordan Love, by the way.
He's not doing any more DB, right? Bo Melton's retired as a defensive back. He's kayaked.
He is in a white jersey, just like you were in a life preserver jacket No, he is all offense all the time. Although there was a day earlier in the camp where he took some reps at DB. So who knows if he's ever going to have to be called upon again. But great catch there. I think it was Nixon and Evan Williams that were going up for that ball against him. But Brandon Ceesay's with the ones again today because the first day he gets Nixon's reps. And then there were a couple of days where it was Nixon and Valentine, and then Valentine has a leg injury. So now it's been Ceesay for almost a week now. And so I asked Matt LaFleur if it's realistic that this 21-year-old rookie second-round pick could be one of his starting corners on opening day in Minnesota. Here's what he said.
I know you don't have a timeline for Valentine, but because of Keyshawn the first day and Valentine since, Ceesay's played a ton of number one snaps. Do you think he's potentially ready if you have to go with him as a starter on week one?
Yeah, I think so. I think all those guys, we got a lot of confidence in all those guys, and we'll just let it all play out.
You were not a starter in week one, but you were certainly a rookie starter. Big deal, little deal, or no deal to try and be able to do that? And is it different at corner, which, by the way, it'll be against Jay Jettis and Addison and that crew in Minnesota if that ends up being the case.
It'll also be against Kyler Murray. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Obviously, to start out at the gates would be a huge deal, but that's why they drafted him. They didn't draft Ceesay to be middling around. Like, they wanted him to come in and do what he's doing and put himself in a position that you can have this conversation. You're going to have a conversation about having a conversation about him starting. That is where you're looking to do. That was, I'm guessing, Goody's plan and hope is that he would play well enough. Now, as the case is, and you'll hear LaFleur say this all the time about young players, and I don't know if this was you or Homer that said you should judge young players on their best.
It's the Homer theory of young players.
It's one of Homer's better thoughts.
Uh-huh.
That is, then can you get them to be consistent? Because in this league, you want to show all those great plays. You want to all that's great. Can you do it over and over? Can you be consistent? And then can you elevate, but never let your lows get where it gets you beat, and let your highs rise up. That's the goal. And I don't know where Ceesay's at, but obviously Matt LaFleur feels good enough. I know you were mixing and matching. It sounds like at family night with, Nixon, Ceesay, and trying to figure out, how that rotation was going to go. He's done enough to put himself in position to have this conversation, which I think is what everybody was hoping for when they drafted him in April.
Carrington Valentine was off to a good start in camp as well. I talked to him at one point, and one of the things he acknowledged, not that it would have been, I think he had a hard time claiming that it wasn't an issue, was his tackling. And that's clearly where they have questions about him. But that is something that he has to clearly be better about if he wants to be one of those starters. And there's still plenty of time here in camp for him to get healthy. And they would at least have some options if they felt that good about Ceesay. They did have Keyshawn Nixon with the twos for one rotation yesterday, but I don't think that that's indicative of anything beyond just getting some other guys some work. They've also got.
Did you ask Keyshawn what he did to get that hamstring loose? Because a lot of times,
just woke up. Yeah,
a lot of times I wake up, I'm a little snug. I got feel like a little something. If it's a calf or not. Does he have a special potion?
Yeah, no,
mysteriously.
He woke up and it was tight. He went and got it scanned, and then the next morning didn't feel tight anymore. So it just heal thyself.
How are his mentals? You talk to him. I know you've had conversations both on and off the record. It's been well documented on this show. How are his mentals?
She said TV.
How are his? Well, yeah, that's. How are his mentals?
So what I like about him, and obviously he and I do have a great relationship, even though I don't know if there could be two more different people, right? Like he is as you like to say, he is a dog, and I am as soft gets, right? But we get along really well, and I genuinely like him. And one of the things I like about him is that he's been basically told that he sucks his entire life, right? Like he didn't get heavily recruited coming out of Long Beach high school or whatever high school he went to in the Long Beach area. He took him a while to get opportunities in college, wasn't drafted, then was sitting the bench, not doing anything other than a little bit of special teams in Oakland before they even moved to Vegas. Gets here. He's a minimum contract guy. He becomes an all-pro returner. He becomes a nickel guy. He becomes a starting corner. He becomes a number one corner. And all throughout it, people are like, I don't know, man. Right? Always looking for somebody better. And so I think that mentality helps him because I'm sure he's pissed. Like, he's not going to, it doesn't help him. And it's pretty clear. And this is one thing that I can say that I mentioned in our conversations. He saw what happened to Elton Jenkins last year. And all it did for Elton Jenkins was make him slightly less prepared to play center last year. Right? Because he didn't do it that much in the offseason program because he was pacing himself.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. And for guys like Tucker and guys that are, stars and, in the younger part of their career, you can kind of handle your business the way you want to. In the case of Keyshawn, and obviously the way Elton, how it played out last year, it is a risky game that you're playing. Mm-hmm. And you have to kind of figure out, is there a way to get what you're looking for? And I think in Keyshawn's case, they're saying if you're going to do that, we'll just move on.
Right.
That's dangerous because you want to prove that you can play. And, even though it's $4 or $5 million, which for a starting corner in the NFL is very minimal.
Right. Even for a number 2 starting corner.
Yeah. I understand Keyshawn's frustration. The Packers are saying, let's just get a year, and then let's see. It's a very cantankerous scenario for Keyshawn, and I think he probably thought better. Or maybe that hammy just loosened up. I don't know, but I did see all that because that was one of the things I was very curious about.
Right.
How the whole offseason, because you just know that he's not going to be happy with that number. And the Packers are looking at it saying, yeah, them's the breaks. You're going to play or you're not. And if you don't, we'll figure something else out. That's where we're at. Where you need to be, we have to have you. We can't live without you. And I think, unfortunately, the Packers, for Keyshawn anyways, do not look at him as one of those, we can't function without you as a corner.
Although they could find out, right? I mean, if your starting corners are Benjamin St-Juste and Valentine or Valentine and Cisse, I mean, there's a chance.
There is,
right?
But this isn't going to be this won't be an Emmitt Smith type situation. That's the only one of the only holdouts that you look back and say, boy, that really worked great for the player. Emmitt Smith.
Right.
Most of them end up somebody comes in and replaces you. And they get rid of it.
So before we get to Wowen and you tell us about UW Credit Union, then because you've been gone, Tucker Kraft comes off the PUP list. He is in pads today. He is not doing 11-on-11 periods. He is doing individual drills. He's catching passes from Jordan Love when Jordan Love's doing like his what would normally be throwing to the equipment guys. So he's getting extra work. He's not doing 11-on-11. He does not have a new contract. I have said while you were gone that I'm sorry, he's supposed to make $3.4 million this year. He is looking at an average annual salary of $20 to $21 million if he becomes the top paid tight end in football. What are we doing here? And what should he be doing here? Because is he really going to go the Devontae Adams route in a year that he's coming off a torn ACL?
Jason, you just said he's not doing any 11-on-11. He's doing
not yet, but how much longer if they don't let
he ain't going to be doing anything until he gets a new deal.
Okay.
You think he's going to play in a preseason game or do any joint practicing without a new contract?
So he has said his goal is to be able to participate in the joint practice.
All right. Well,
if that's the case, that is on August 26th.
Well, his goal will be that he wants a new contract before that.
Correct.
And maybe putting a timeline on it to get this done.
All right. So then my question becomes, if they don't have it done by the end of training camp, he will not have taken any reps of 11 on 11, and you're crossing your fingers and hoping that by September 13th, he's got his deal.
Well, the Packers control when he gets that deal. I would
right,
bet that
that's the problem for him.
Nah,
right?
I mean, he, I believe, is in a different category. I was telling Owen when you were walking down to camp, I think this is more because one of the did you hear this or you missed this, whatever the segment was, I said that he'd have a new deal by the time I got back on the 10th of August. He hasn't. He also hasn't taken any reps in meaningful 11 on 11 or a family night scrimmage, whatnot. I just think he's at a place where he is in a position to dictate. But what will end up happening, he's going to get the average per basis of what he should, 20, 21 million, whatever the top is. But the structure of the guarantees would be more Packer-friendly than Tucker Kraft-friendly. That's what I'm sure is holding this up.
Well, there's 3 guys that signed extensions, and they all got comparatively less guarantees in their contracts than we're seeing in most other contracts.
Russ Ball's going to cook. Russ Ball's going to cook. He's going to do his job well. Tucker Kraft's going to feel happy, and my guess is they're going to say, well, he's going to get a nice chunk of guaranteed money, but it won't be you're seeing these contracts that are getting done, and it's getting to be 70-80% of the contracts of these younger players are getting to be guaranteed. I would be surprised if Tucker's is that high, but I'm sure that's what he's holding out trying to get done, is my guess. Because I would have thought with the smirk and with all the fun stuff that we heard leading into camp before I left, it felt as if that deal was going to get done, that it was close, it was at the 5-yard line. Well, as we know, it ain't always easy scoring in that red zone.
That's true.
That red zone ain't easy. That's where things get tighter. That's when the real details that you got to iron out have to really get finessed. And there's nobody better at doing it than Russ Ball.
All right. Well, for your information, the first 11 on 11 period, Keyshawn Nixon, Brandon Cisse as the 2 corners. Second set of downs for the number 1 defense, Benjamin St. Juste and Brandon Cisse are the corners. That's the second straight day that Matt LaFleur has done that. And Matt LaFleur, when he was asked about that by Bill Huber earlier this morning, said, well, he doesn't micromanage the reps.
He might not, but I can assure you the players do. And what that
don't count the reps.
What that tells me, Brandon Cisse is going to be one of your starting corners if everybody stays healthy. And then it comes down to St. Juste and Keyshawn.
Yeah. I would explain why he's not holding out. All right, we will get to Wowen coming up next after Tausch tells us about UW Credit Union.
Indeed, I am a proud member, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years are going to help you reach your financial goals. And I did not have a ton of Instagram access or Twitter access while I was out, but I see that the UW Credit Union games, which was a ton of fun. Jesse got to be the nerdy ref that he loves, and we had 8 UW athletes and ambassadors of UW Credit Union competing. And as the competitions keep going, the energy and the competitive juice picked up even more and more.
I bet.
Till we crowned a champion, which just continue to watch. It's super fun. That has been fun, and it's also been fun to be a member at UW Credit Union. You should join as well. UWCU.org, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions to apply.
Wowen is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
After talking sports every day on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I still have the same family priorities that you do. One of the best feelings is knowing that you've taken care of the people you love. That's exactly how I felt after working with Kirsten Hildebrand and her team at Hildebrand Law Firm. They made estate planning easy, personalized everything to my family's needs, and explained every step along the way. I left feeling confident and prepared with a real peace of mind. The best time to make a plan is before you need one. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to request your consultation today or call and tell them Jen sent you.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and builds spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations, people lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Fewer fees? Yes, please. Our everyday checking aims to please. No minimum balance, no monthly fees. Just hometown banking, the way it should be. Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Enjoy Ozaki County's premier golf destination, The Bog in Saukville. Featuring 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, The Bog offers a golf experience unlike any other for all skill levels. But The Bog is more than just golf. It's the perfect setting for corporate events, weddings, and group outings. Our team brings every detail to life. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, then enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy The Bog.
You never know when someone you care about might need a place like Curative Care. For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. They help families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood. They connect parents with resources, provide guidance through challenging times, and create a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org. That's curative.org. Do it today.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Quick note before Owen. The Packers' number one offense. We've talked a lot about the offensive line, but right now with where they're at injury-wise, Tausch, Marshawn Lloyd at running back. Josh Jacobs was signing autographs down the way from me here for all the kids. Christian Watson, Savion Williams, Bo Melton, Isaiah Nayor, and the new Michael Sturdivant were the wide receivers, and the tight ends were Drake Dabney and Messiah Swinson. So bring it on.
Samsonite.
Samsonite. I knew it.
Yeah, I saw LaFleur in his comments, and I'm sure you were at the press conference. But
I was indeed. Yeah.
The thing with this is, when you have all these injuries, you can't go out and execute practice the way you want. That's the part that's
correct.
Even, you can't do. I don't have enough tight ends. We can't run this personnel grouping. Oh, we don't have enough tailbacks. We can't do this. Oh, we can't do a 2-minute because of this. That's where, some of these injuries start catching up with your group. Because you can't even run a fully functioning practice. You're already cutting this down to 13 padded practices or whatever it is, 13.
Mm-hmm.
That part sucks. And you're not getting any better. You're getting better, but you can't maximize. When a coach can't run what he wants because you don't have enough bodies, that's frustrating.
So it is for Owen Dimful that there'll be so little time for Wowen.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Guys, it's almost that time of the year. Fantasy football is back. I love fantasy football, and I'm in a big... Well, I would consider it big. It's a $150 buy-in.
Let's
with some
go.
of my buddies.
What is
Matt Miller running it?
No, he is not.
What's the punishment if you lose, if you take last place? Do you guys do those?
See, I want to do a punishment. We've always talked about it, but nobody has been thorough enough to actually go through with it.
Will your group allow our team to put up the penalty for it? Like, not just me and Jason and Jesse, but our fans? And then we get it down where it's down to 3 things that isn't crazy, and will your group then do? How many players are in
12.
your league? That's perfect. So if you finish in 12th place, you have to do that. And the Wilde and Tausch, we will put it up on our socials. Whatever punishment we give you next year, will your group do that?
They would definitely do that.
All right, we will definitely put this out there, and we'll find a solution to the best penalties of being the worst fantasy football player.
And it should have been my brother the last 2 years, so that should be even more fun.
All right. There have been some really fun ones that I've seen different fantasy groups put out. And we will, when Jesse gets back, we'll coordinate a thought. We'll get you 3, and we'll let our fans vote on what that looks like. I think that could be a fun little, because I loved fantasy football when I first got done playing. And I actually thought it was really fun when I was playing. I would hear guys, I'm not going to put any names on anything.
Oh, boy.
But I would hear guys be, Adrian Peterson, I needed him to score. We'd go play Minnesota, and we normally these conversations, because if you lost, the bus rides were usually pretty quiet. We'd win. Everything was a fair game conversation. And we had one of the guys was irritated because Adrian Peterson didn't score a touchdown against us because that hurt his fantasy team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we hoping then that Owen
finishes
finishes last so we can then impose this
I don't know.
penalty
Is there
on
anybody
him?
else from the ESPN Madison team, or is it just your buddies from college and your brothers? And
Yep, buddies from college.
yeah, we'd want Owen to finish last.
Okay.
No. Just like radio, it's either really good or really bad. We don't want any
So either
middling.
win
I
it
don't
or
want
lose
you.
it. Yeah.
I don't want you as the 7th seed getting beat in the first round of the playoffs.
See, that's where I've been, though.
You've been like the Packers.
Mm-hmm, I have been. But what was fun over the weekend was
Owen LaFleur.
Who's going to be the
Yes.
top pick this year now in these fantasy drafts?
I would say Jahmyr Gibbs. If I had the number 1 pick, I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, don't tell your fans. Or don't tell your. Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs
I
just
don't
got
have
that
the
new.
first pick, and I'm going to elaborate further on that.
Go ahead.
So over the weekend, we established the draft order, and we had to break out the big guns. We had former running back of the Chargers and Commanders, Austin Eckler, determine our fantasy league's draft order. And
Is he retired? Eckler is done?
He's a free agent.
Okay, so he's going to get retired by the league.
The league is retiring him.
Yes. He gave me the 5th pick.
How did he? Did he just randomly?
Just
pick?
randomly picked.
So you guys did like a cameo deal with Austin Eckler, or do you know Austin Eckler?
He posted on his Instagram that he has a bunch of free time since he's a free agent. And he said just to send the fantasy leagues, like all the team names, and he would randomize the order for all the different leagues. I think he's promoting his own fantasy league or deal.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
I respect
and
that.
so we just took a shot in the dark and said, hey, here's our all 12 names. If you would like to randomize them, we would love that.
That to me is where the cameos of the world and these other spots really do a good job. We did this when I was in a golf league. We would have it, and we had the Happy Gilmore dude. What's his name? The villain?
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin. Yeah.
Shooter did a whole thing, and I mean, he researched it. He got info. He was awesome, and it was like the best. It was my favorite part of our golf league, was that when he had that. So that's fun, but the punishment for the loser, because then that keeps people engaged.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get, because a lot of times, some of the fantasy leagues I was in when I first finished, you'd lose a couple guys to injury, and you just got disinterested because there's 100, whatever it was, you just be blah. This way, nobody's getting disinterested.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
There you go. Well, we'll be rooting against you, Owen.
Can you throw that up on our chat? And Jason, you're good with the social media stuff. That would be just to start getting ideas, and then we could start getting it, because I'll think of some too on the top of my head. There have been some really fun ones. I'm not talking about like running around.
Wait, so like there was a guy that I saw, he had to go play a round of golf without a ball?
I did see that. That was hilarious.
That's funny.
With like random people he didn't know?
That is really funny.
And the kicker was he could not tell them why.
He couldn't tell them what he was doing, right?
Why he didn't have a ball.
But he could tell them at the end.
I don't know.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's great.
We need to wrap things up. We can't do that until Tausch tells us about Annex Wealth Management.
Well, life events, they got a bunch of things that pop up. A major one, sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, a vacation that you have to pay for, weddings. Well, Annex Wealth Management, they assist clients with those big life events. And the biggest thing, you need to plan. That makes all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, how much you're paying for it. It's a big part of smart financial planning. And Annex, they have an entire in-house team, works together so you can make informed decisions when those big life events come up. Click Get Started today at annexwealth.com.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Women's college volleyball is back at Fiserv Forum, and ESPN Milwaukee is sending you there. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for your chance to win 2 tickets to attend the AVCA First Serve, August 21st through the 24th. Watch Wisconsin Marquette defending national champion Texas A&M, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Texas, and other powerhouse programs battle it out to open the season. It's 4 days of elite volleyball, electric matchups, and unforgettable action. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this week for your chance to win tickets. AVCA First Serve at Fiserv Forum. Win tickets here.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at WalneyLegal.com.
We've all walked through the Expo Center at the Wisconsin State Fair, seen something and thought, now that would be nice to have. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and that's exactly what happened to me when I found Good Health Saunas just a few years ago. Buying my infrared sauna was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I sleep better, have more energy, recover faster, and with how much I travel, the detox benefits are huge. Visit Good Health Saunas inside the Expo Center at the Wisconsin State Fair August 6th through the 16th, or learn more at goodhealthsaunas.com.
Baseball season is in full swing, and there's only one way to celebrate, with a Surfside iced tea and vodka or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. Smooth, refreshing, and made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for a day at the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Heartburn. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing is worse than heartburn after a long day. When you're finally off the clock, dinner's done, feet kicked up, kids asleep, and boom, heartburn tries to steal the moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. The effervescent tablets start neutralizing acid in seconds, so you can sit back, relax, and unwind from your day. Next time heartburn hits,
Quick, Alka-Seltzer.
use as directed.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
I love a good competition, especially when it brings together some of my favorite things. UW Credit Union, Wisconsin sports, and some friendly trash talk. Mark Tauscher here, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to the inaugural UW Credit Union Games. Watch Wisconsin student athletes from various sports go head-to-head until we crown the ultimate winner. Follow along on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms. UW Credit Union, here for every you.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, we don't have time for a clip of the day. Thrilled that Old T is back in the saddle
Starting
again.
to think
Tausch,
time management might be part of the issue for me. This might be partially my fault.
No.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga. Every morning, I talk about traffic backups and slowdowns around Milwaukee. At Sewer Ninjas, they help homeowners avoid a different kind of backup, a sewer backup. Sewer Ninjas is a Wisconsin family-owned company specializing in sewer camera inspections, drain cleaning, and trenchless repairs that can often be completed without tearing up your yard. Their goal is simple: find problems early and help homeowners avoid costly surprises. Learn more at sewerninjas.com. That's sewerninjas.com.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin.
Eisen Show.
Hey, everybody.
Can't get enough of the Rich Eisen Show? You're in luck. You can find us everywhere. Watch us weekdays on Disney Plus from noon to 3 Eastern.